Right, welcome back to another episode of Hooner's Garage. We've got Joe with us today and we're going to be working on the FJ. You've got to take the ignition out, we've got to change the fuel tanks over with the ones that are on the other FJ because it's a better fuel tank and I've got the key for that ignition. So hopefully today, I don't know, it's possible we might get Fudge started. Possible, but we'll see how it goes. And also, Del Boy's been sent me a message to say that it's about time that she was painted matte black. Well, I've got the matte black, but I'll wait until she's a little bit further along the line before we start painting her up. But it's there, ready to go. 5 tins of that. This is just £1 from the pound shop. I don't know how good it is. I've never used this one before, but eventually we'll see how this goes. And also, just as a quick note, you know those expensive degreasers that you can buy in cans like this for 8 or 9 quid? Don't. Pound shop, it's exactly the same stuff. It says on the back for cleaning all your surfaces such as engines and machines, £1 for a great big can of, a great big 500ml of degreaser like that. So don't waste your money buying the expensive stuff. This stuff does the job just as well from your local pound store. But that's enough advertising local businesses. Ready? Let's crack on. Right, so Fudge, old ignition where I don't know where the keys are, old fuel tank. Don't know where the key is for that, so we'll take that off, and then on this FJ, this is actually the original tank for Fudge. This is the original tank, but it's a better tank. The insides are nicer. That one's quite rusty, so I put it onto this bike, and obviously I've got the keys for this ignition. So today's project is to get that tank off, that ignition out, and put on that bike, and then possibly get this one started. Get that one started today. So let's crack on. Right, so first things first, we've got to get the back box off the FJ. Yeah, I didn't do them up too tight. So there we go. No. I'll take the bolts, nuts and bolts, and washers. There we go. Other side. Try not to get your hand caught in that cable, mate. Bring it, try and poke it out of the way. Yeah, undo it by hand now, mate. Yeah, undo it by hand. If it'll turn by hand, it's usually quicker to undo it by hand. If it stiffens up a bit, use the socket again. Use the wrench again. Easier by hand again? Has that loosened it up? Yeah, that way does that. Right, now look at this. Look at the ones on the back that you need to get off. Now you've got to find a tool that you reckon will get those off. Oh, that'll be right.
You could use a spanner to get the other side off.
You could do, but you need one, otherwise they'll just spin. So, have a look. Back goes in there.
That?
No, that one.
Yes.
That one goes over there in that spare hole, because that's a 13, so you put it back in that one so you know where it is. Not that I really need to give you lectures on how to tidy your garage up, because I'm useless at it. So if you look in here, or yeah, look in there, the bolt that's in there is called an Allen bolt, so it takes an Allen key, so it looks like that.
Oh.
So you just need to find the right one, the right size that fits.
On here.
And while you're looking at those, I'm going to see if I can find the one that's missing from there, because there should be one in there. So it's look at the side, look on the long side of it, there should be a number. What size does it say?
5.
That's a 5mm, is it? So you can use it at either end. So put the long end in. Now try it. That's going tight. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Right, now put your hand in on the inside to hold the bolt steady so you can undo it properly. Or the nut, should I say. Got it?
No.
Let me hold that then. So you hold that nut like that. This is what we call teamwork. Okay, ready? Pull it out. Right, thread those back on the nut and then thread those back on the bolt. No, washer first. That's it. And that way that keeps everything together so we don't lose them and we know that's all one piece. Alright, good man. And same on this side. So that's it, long way in, long end in, and then on the inside you just need to grab that nut. Look on the inside, Joe. You get that nut there, that's the bit that you have to grab to keep it straight, and then just keep undoing. Try it with fingers. Try it with fingers rather than with the Allen key. But keep hold of that.
Right. Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah, it's getting looser.
Yeah, let me hold it up a bit for you. Try it with fingers now. That's it. Got those ones? Should we wash them in as well? Hey. Right, put that together. Got it? Right, give me the bolt, give me the bolt. Right, now you got to put that, that's it, I don't even need to tell you, you know what to do. Just going to put this over here. I'm going to put these on the bench with the others. Got it, right? Now you need to take the back end off. So that back box should just lift off. Be careful because the edges are sharp. There we go. And then just find somewhere out. Go and put it outside down there, mate, on the floor, just down there in the corner. I'll do it. And then this blue thing, seat, that can go off as well. Right. And then we need to get the petrol tank off. I shall probably do this one, mate. Do you want to hold that? I don't think this is actually all connected, so I think it should just come off. Just pull it off the back, wiggle it off, and there we go. One dirty, horrible fuel tank. I'll stick that outside for a minute as well. Like that. And then all we need to do is find the clip that holds the ignition in, which is this one here. We can take that out as well. So it should be just a case of push that in there and pull or wiggle, and end up, it will come out all in one go quickly, and then you'll end up grazing your knuckles on something. It'll be bloody painful. There we go. So that is the old ignition out. Just feed it over this hook here. Put it on there. Old ignition. I have got the key for that, so we will keep that. Just don't know where it is. So that's this one stripped down. And so now all we need to do is take this one out, bring the other one in, and we can take the parts off that. Right, so we've got the other FJ, and this one's actually called cargo. So tank off and ignition out as well. Tanks, that comes off the same way, 2 bolts at the back, lift it off, undo all the plumbing, job done. Ignition, I'm hoping to get the ignition out without having to take the entirety of the fairing off. So I'm thinking that the plan for this bike eventually is to turn it into a track bike, but that's a project for the future. So we'll crack on, we'll get the fuel tank and the ignition off of this. Right, so we've got the fuel tank and the ignition off this bike. So big empty space there, and that came out. We didn't have to take all the fairing off, which was handy. So now we put the fuel tank and the ignition on the Rat bike. Right, so we are working the ignition now on this bike. So on, so we got that, and we also now have, says E, wrong key, that one. There we go. A working petrol tank. So what we're going to do now is stick the battery in it and see if it'll start. Right, so fuel tank's on, the ignition's on. I haven't got a battery that fits this bike, so I haven't got one. The TZR battery's not going to be big enough to fire it over. I have put a TZR battery on and tested, the indicators work and everything else, but the TZR battery is not going to be big enough to fire this bad boy up. So that's that done for the moment. So the next thing to do is just carry on with some odds and jobs. There's a gap between this up here and the bar that it rests on, so it doesn't make it secure even when it's done up, so I need to brace it in the inside across there. So that'll be the next step, so we'll crack on with that since we've got a bit more time. Right, so this bracket is about 30mm lower than the top of that when it's sat on it, so there's about that much gap, about 30mm. That block of wood happens to be about 30mm. So just a few screws through there, a couple of screws through there, a couple of washers underneath, bolt up from the inside with the underside of this as well, and we are good to go. Old school block of wood. Let's have a bit of organic in your Rat. A block of wood, so 2 bolts through there, drive up underneath to a couple of nuts and some washers to hold the last of the plastic mud guard on, and then we'll put the guard back over and we'll see how it goes from there. So back end done, held in, wooden block up inside there, and the cut down mud guard valency thing on the inside in there as well. So that back end is now beef solid. I can put my camping equipment on that and it's all good. Seat, still need to finish that off. Best petrol tank in there, key in the ignition, so we've now got a working ignition and a semi-clean part. It's not clean on the outside, but on the inside it's fairly clean. So job done. Need to get a new battery so we can start it up. Apart from that, everything looks good. My only concern now is how to mount a headlight on the front somehow, what to take it off from. I don't think I can get a couple of arms that will fit on those legs and allow the handlebars to turn left and right with the headlight on the front. I'm thinking possibly I might have to take it off of this bracket or get some angle iron or something, some thicker metal than what I've got. One up there, one up from the one behind there to the centre, mount a headlight around about here somewhere, but that may be too far forward, further forward than I like. So we've still got the headlight problem to solve, but as it goes, once I get the bigger battery and some fuel, this baby should be ready to start. And then it's just what we're going to do about hiding all this stuff down the side. So I think it's going to involve one of those perforated server doors on either side, and we'll make a couple of balances. Those are the ones, or actually I might be able to use, if I can find the old ones of those off the old bike, the original ones from this bike, I might be able to butcher those and stick them back on again. But there we go. Right, that's it for another episode of Hooners Garage. One stage closer on the Rat Fudge, or Fudge Rat. Still got to figure out how I'm going to bolt a headlight to the front of that, and I need a new battery. Once I get the battery on, I'm hoping that she'll turn over. There's oil in there. Need to get some fresh fuel for it, of course, but we should be good to go. I said then it's just the headlight on that, and then hopefully we should be one step closer to an MOT. And matte black, it's there, Del. Don't worry, I've got it. It'll be going on at some point soon. Hopefully when it's past the MOT. I don't know if I paint it before or after it gets to the MOT. Oh yeah, and the seat. I've still got to mould the seat down a bit, take some of the sides in, and then figure out how we're going to do those side panels. If I can find the originals, and I'll just find somewhere bodging those back on. Otherwise I might have to hammer set out that perforated server door. But there we go. So that's it for this episode. Hopefully see you on the next one. So until then, take care, ride safe. We're off for some dinner.